Welcome everyone. Today we are going to deal with the next or new module accounting for issue of debentures. You might have heard the term debentures in your previous classes or in your smaller classes, and we have learned in detail about the concept of shares. So are these shares and debentures same, or are they different? And what is the purpose of the use of debentures in the business? Why the company is giving more importance to debentures rather than shares? There are lot of questions that relating to debentures, and we are going to deal with all those questions so that we will get a clear idea about the concept of debentures, why the company is using debentures for raising capital, and many more. So we have learned about the shares, and company, especially the joint stock companies, need huge amount of capital for running its business or conducting its activities, and for raising that much of huge amount the company uses different methods for raising capital, and one such method was issue of shares. And I hope you all know the concept of shares, how the procedures are dealt with. And just like the shares, the company will also issue debentures for raising capital. So it is one of the source of raising capital from the company's point of view, because joint stock companies may require long-term finance for their developmental activities. In order to raise required funds without increasing the share capital, they may resort to borrowing money from the public. Issue of debentures is one of the methods of such borrowings. Debenture constitutes the borrowed capital of the company, and they are known as creditorship securities. So, just now I have mentioned that debentures constitute the borrowed capital of the company. Every company needs capital. The capital can be divided into two: owned capital and borrowed capital. As the term suggests, owned capital means it is owned by the owners. Owners in a concern, owners means shareholders. So when the company raises capital by issue of shares, that is known as owned capital, because shareholders are the owners of the concern. When the company borrows money from outside, and one such method of raising capital through borrowing is debentures. So debentures can be called as borrowed capital. It is almost like borrowing a certain sum of money from the creditors. We have to pay in return interest on certain intervals along with the principal amount at the due date, likewise. So it is almost like a creditor-debtor relation. So raising funds by means of debentures means debenture holders will be like a creditors of the concerns. So such debentures may be called as creditorship securities. So we are going to learn in detail the concepts of debentures, how the company is raising capital by way of debentures, what are the procedures and steps that has to be followed while raising funds via debentures. Let us deal in detail all these areas in this module. So let us begin. I have given a brief introduction about the concept. Yet anyway, let us explain the concept again. Joint stock company may require long-term finance for their developmental activities. In order to raise required funds without increasing the share capital, they may resort to borrowing money from the public. Issue of debentures is one of the method of borrowing. And I have mentioned other point, that is debentures constitute the borrowed capital of the company, and they are known as creditorship securities, because it is similar to the concept of borrowing funds or money from a creditor. Just like that, the raising capital by means of debentures is also similar to the lending money from creditors. So it is, debentures is also known as creditorship securities, and debentures constitute the borrowed capital of the company. The debenture holders are regarded as the creditors of the company. I have mentioned that they are entitled to a periodical payment of interest at a fixed rate, and are also entitled to redemption of their debentures as per the terms and conditions of the issue. We will learn about those concepts. Redemption means repayment of the debt, repayment of debentures. Whenever we borrow funds by means of debentures at one point of time or on the basis of the agreed terms between the company and the debenture holders, the company has to repay the debt. So we will study in detail how this repayment is done. Repayment of debentures is known as redemption. And since these debenture holders, I have mentioned that they are just like the creditors, so it is known as creditorship securities. Since they are creditors, not the owners of the concern, they are the creditors. Since they are the creditors, they do not have any voting right. Only the owners of the concerns have the voting right. So these are the general concepts with regard to the debentures. Let us go to in detail the concept of meaning and definition of debentures. The word debenture is derived from the Latin word debere, which means to borrow in its simplest sense. It means a document which either creates or acknowledges a debt. So that is how the term debenture has been derived. It is derived from a Latin word. Remember the term. You might come across this type of question in the one multiple choice question or in the fill in the blanks. So remember these lines. So what is the definition of debenture? Debenture is an instrument in writing issued by a company under its seal and acknowledging a debt for a certain sum of money and giving an undertaking to repay that sum on or after a fixed future date, and meanwhile to pay interest thereon at a certain rate per annum of stated intervals. That is known as debentures. Simple terms, it means it is a document in writing issued by the company under its seal and acknowledging a debt. Under its seal means usually it will be a seal. You can often come across a seals in shops. You can see that at the end of the bill they put a seal like a cash received or delivered, like that. So company seal means that inscribes the name of the company, the emblem of the company. It is actually the identity of the company. That is known as seal. So it is an instrument in writing. It will be written in a certain piece of paper, writing that the company has borrowed such and such amount from such persons, and the principal amount and the interest, and it is borrowed for a agreed interest of certain sum of rupees or certain percentage of the principal amount that has to be paid at regular intervals, and finally these amounts has to be paid. That is, the entire principal amount has to be paid on a fixed date. All these things are written in a piece of paper or a A4 sheet paper, a formal paper, and after that, at the end of the document, company seal will be stated, and that is the format of a debenture. So that is the meaning of the definition. Go through it. In the questions, these types of cases, that is what is meant by debentures, definition of debenture. Whenever the definition of debenture is asked in a question, definitely you have to write either this one or any approved definitions issued by any approved authorities or persons. And as per section 2 subsection 30 of the Companies Act 2013, debentures include debenture stock, bonds and other securities of a company, whether constituting a charge on the assets of the company or not. Debenture is actually a common name given to a certain type of securities. There are other types of debentures like debenture stock. We will discuss about what is meant by debenture stock. Bonds. Usually government securities are issued in the form of bonds, and there are other securities. We will discuss in brief what are the different types of debentures issued by a concern, and it will be constituting a charge on the assets of the company. Sometimes the debentures may be issued on a certain charge over the asset of the company. For example, if I own a company and I borrow a certain sum of money from the debenture holders, or we can say debenture holders or an outsider, the outsider will pay me the money on a condition that for the non-payment of the principal amount with interest, they have the right to take any of the assets of the company. That is known as constituting a charge on the asset of the company. It doesn't mean that all the debentures hold a charge on the assets of the company. That depends upon the nature of debentures. There are certain types of debenture. We will discuss in detail what are the different types of debentures, and one such debenture means will have a charge on the assets. Next one, bond. Bond is somewhat similar to a debenture in terms of its content and texture. Earlier bonds had been issued only by the government, but nowadays semi-government organizations, non-governmental organizations can issue bonds as an acknowledgement of debt. The main point of difference between a bond and a debenture lies in terms of its issue conditions. That is, a bond can be issued without predetermined rate of interest like a debenture. Debentures usually issued on the basis of a certain agreed rate of interest, whereas bonds are issued without determining the rate of interest. And one such example of a bond is deep discount bond. So that is a brief intro about the bond. Let us discuss in detail concept of bond. A bond is a debt security or an instrument of indebtedness under which the issuer owes the holders a debt and is obliged to pay them interest and to repay the principal on maturity date. Just like the debentures, it is also a instrument or a security in which issuer owes the holders a debt and is obliged to pay them the interest and to repay the principal on maturity date. There will be a date fixed to repay the principal amount along with interest. So it is just like a debenture where the principal amount and the interest has to be paid. The only difference is that the rate of interest is not predetermined, and it is not a rule that it should be predetermined. It may be predetermined likewise, but unlike debentures, it is without predetermined rate of interest. But in case of debentures, it is a must that it should be issued on a understanding that the rate of interest is such and such, like 10% interest or 12% interest. It has to be predetermined. It is to be determined or fixed in advance. That is known as predetermined. And the bond is a bearer instrument and hence can be transferred without any transfer deed. Since bond is a promissory note, it carries stamp duty. Bonds are issued by government as well as corporate entities. Earlier it was by government alone. Now it can be issued by semi-government and corporate concerns. Bonds issued by government are known as government securities or gilt-edged securities. These bonds are default free, hence they are known as risk-free assets. Government bonds are usually risk-free bonds. Bonds issued by the private and corporate entities carry default risk. That is a certain percentage that is calculated in advance. That is known as default risk. Hence, such bonds have to be mandatorily rated by a SEBI recognized credit rating agencies. So that is the concept with regard to a bond. Next one. What are the differences between bond and a debenture? We have mentioned about the concept of bond as well as debentures. Yet again, let us discuss the common differences between bond and a debenture. In bond, it can be issued without predetermined rate of interest. We have mentioned that. So, in case of debentures, it should be issued at a predetermined rate of interest. That is the one difference between bond and the debenture. It offers maximum discount. Discount will be less. That is a major aspect regarding bonds and debentures. The difference between redemption price and issue price is interest. Whereas in case of debenture, interest is calculated on the face value with a predetermined rate of interest. That is, in case of debentures, the issue price means I borrowed 100 rupees from outside party in the form of bonds, and if I am repaying the entire amount, it is known as repayment at and issue at par. So I borrowed 100 from outsider and repaid 100. That is the case of issue and redemption of bond at par. In that case, there won't be any interest. Whereas if I am borrowing 100 rupees from outsider and I have repaid him 125 after 1 year or after a certain period, so the rate of or the amount of interest with regard to that particular bond is the difference between the issue price and the redemption price. So that will be, issue price was 100 but I repaid 125, so difference 25. So 25 rupees is the interest with regard to that particular bond. Whereas in case of debentures, the interest is calculated on the face value of the debentures. That is, if I borrowed 100 rupees from outside party, the rate of interest will be 25%. For example, in the actual life, there won't be any 25% like that. Let it be 12%. So 12% on interest means 100 into 12%, 12 rupees. So like that only interest on debentures is calculated. And finally, bonds usually issued by governments in the earlier days, but now it can be issued by governments, semi-government organizations, and even corporations can issue bonds, where debentures are usually issued by corporate concerns. So these are the basic differences between bond and a debenture. Next, let us go to the next one, debenture stock. We have mentioned at the beginning of this case, debentures may be in the form of bonds or debenture stock likewise. So what is meant by debenture stock? A debenture stock is a document through which a large amount of loan is raised by a company instead of issuing a number of debentures. It is almost similar to the concept of stock we have learned in case of shares. In the shares also we have learned about the term stock, share stock, or simply we can say stock. So in debenture stock is a bulk number of debentures whereby the company is raising funds. That is known as debenture stock. The debenture stock may be repayable at a fixed date. Usually debentures are repaid on a fixed date. May be secured or irredeemable depending upon the terms of the deal. We will learn about the secured and irredeemable in the coming sessions because there are different types of debentures. So when there is a debenture stock, there should be a debenture stock trust deed making provision for appointment of trustees. Debenture stock can be issued for any amount and may include fractions of a rupees. And we have mentioned about trust deed and we have mentioned about fractions. We will discuss in detail the concept of trust deeds and fractions in the coming session. Right now, just understand, just familiarize the concept of debenture stock. Next one. What are the difference between debenture and a debenture stock? From this, you will get a clear picture regarding the debenture stock. Debenture is a written document issued by a company as an evidence of its debt. We have learned about this at the time of meaning and definition. Whereas debenture stock, it is a description of a debt or a sum secured by an instrument. Next one. It is issued for a fixed face values, debentures. In case of debenture stock, it can be issued for any amount, may include fractions of a rupees. In case of debentures, it may be issued for a fixed face value. Is like face value. We have learned that the price of one debenture be 100, or it may be 90, or it may be 110, like that. Whereas a debenture stock, it can be issued for any amount. It can be issued for rupees 2, or it can be issued for rupees 10,000, or it can be issued for 2, 3, or 10, whatever may be. And even it can be issued for a fraction. That is, a certain price of a debenture stock is 33 1/3 rupees. Likewise, usually fractions won't come in case of debentures and shares. Usually it is a situation of a rare case where whenever there is a fraction of shares as well as debentures come, they may be rounded to the nearest whole number. That is the concept. And if I issue or trading of debentures and shares in the form of fractions are not entertained in the stock exchange markets. Debenture certificate is transferable, whereas a debenture stock, it is a transferable in fragments subject to the provisions in the articles to that effect. That is, here it can be transferable in fragments, means it can be transferable in different proportions or in different portions likewise. And basically that transferability is possible only if there is provisions mentioned in the articles of association. So these are the basic differences between debenture and debenture stock. So next, let us go to the next area. Charge. What is meant by charge? A charge is an encumbrance to meet the obligation under the trust deed, whereby the company agrees to mortgage a specified portion either as first or second charge. It implies that the lenders can secure their payment from such assets. That is known as charge. So, charge is an encumbrance to meet the obligation under the trust deed. Actually, a trust deed is a document or a legal document that sets out the conditions, terms, rules for creating and managing your trust. It will usually consist of what are the objectives of the funds, who are the beneficiaries of the funds, who can access these funds. Like that information will be mentioned in the trust deed. So, as per the trust deed, the company agrees to mortgage a specified portion either as first charge or second charge. It implies that lenders can secure their payment from such assets. Simple example means, if I own a company, I borrow certain funds from outside parties in the form of debentures. The debenture holders or the debentures, whoever issuing debentures, have the right to have a charge on the assets of the company. For example, if I borrow 1 lakh rupees from an outside party, the outside party have the right to access a charge on one of the assets of the company worth of rupees 1 lakh, because at the time of failure to repay the amount, that a certain person can relinquish that asset from me. That is the concept of charge. And it may be a fully charged or partially charged, first charge or second charge. There are different types of charges on the asset. Let us discuss in detail what are the different types of charges. So that is the concept with regard to charge. Remember, charge is usually what the outside party intended to have on the assets of the company. If I borrowed a certain sum of money from the outside party have the right to have a charge on the assets of the company that worth the amount that is borrowed by me. If I borrow 1 lakh from outside party, the outside party can have a charge on the asset of the company worth of rupees 1 lakh. If I failed to pay the rupees or the principal amount, the outside party can retake or take the worth of assets from my company. That is known as charge. There are different types of charges. Let us discuss in detail the different types of charges. First one, fixed charge. That means when the charge is created against a specific asset of the company, then such charge is called fixed charge. That may be mentioned. That is, the outside party is planning to have a charge on the land and building of the concern, or the premises of the concern, or machinery of the concern. The asset may be specified in advance. Floating charge means when the charge is created on all assets of the company without mentioning any specified assets, such as the outside party may have a charge on the fixed assets of the company. Likewise, they are not mentioning what is that particular fixed asset. Instead, they are mentioning they will have a charge on the fixed assets of the company. That is known as floating charge. They will not mention the specified asset of the concern. And another type of charge is first charge. First charge implies the priority of repayment to the holders who have such charge on the assets. Those who hold such a charge against any specific assets can realize their dues from the net realizable value of the asset. That is known as first charge. Some assets may be charged by multiple outside parties. So whoever is having the charge on the asset with the first charge preference is known as first charge. And next one is second charge. Second charge on any specific asset implies the right to realize the dues from the surplus after fully meeting the claims of the first charge. I believe you have got the concept about first charge and the second charge. There is not much of a difference. So these are the different types of charges with regard to debentures on specific or a group of assets of the concern. If the charge is on a particular asset, is known as fixed. If it is on a group of assets, it is known as floating. And first charge and second charge. So these are different types. Next one, features of debentures. We have learned about the concept of debentures, what is meant by debentures, and what are the different types of debentures. We haven't discussed in detail the actual types of debentures. Still, we have learned that debentures can be issued in the form of bonds, debenture stock. Likewise, there are different types of debentures. We will discuss in detail each of those cases. Before that, let us discuss the concept of features. So what are the features or characteristics of a debenture? One of the main characteristics of debenture is maturity of that debentures or maturity date of that debenture. Generally, debentures are to be repaid at a definite time, or we can say on a fixed agreed date as stipulated in the issue. The company must pay back the principal amount on these debentures on that agreed given date or fixed date. That is one of the main feature of debentures. Since it is an outside securities or a borrowed fund, the company first repay these debentures. Only after settling these debentures, the company can deal with the shares and shareholders. Because debenture holders are outsiders of the company, they are not the owners. So first preference should be given to the outsiders. Next one, claim on income. A fixed rate of interest is payable on debentures. We have mentioned that it will be agreed in advance. Debentures has a legal obligation to pay the interest on the due date. The company should pay the interest on the fixed date. Any default in the payment of interest will have certain consequences for the company. Irrespective of its level of earnings, even if a company makes no earnings or incurs loss, it is under an obligation to pay interest to its debenture holders. We have learned about those concepts in our earlier classes. Debenture holders are outsiders, they are creditorship securities, they are borrowed funds. Just like an outsider or a money lender, we are liable to pay interest on those money borrowed from those parties. And the thing is that even if the company is running at a heavy loss, the company must pay the interest on debentures. Usually the amount paid to the debenture holders on certain intervals is known as interest. But if the same thing is paid to a shareholder, it is known as dividend. So remember these two differences. Even though the concept is same, the terms are different. In case of shares, the fixed amount paid is known as dividend. In case of debentures, fixed amount paid is known as interest. And even if the company is running at a loss, the company has to pay interest. But in case of dividends, if the company need not have to pay dividend even if it is running at a loss. If there is sufficient funds, the company can pay dividend. Otherwise, they need not have to pay dividend. That is the concept of shares. Next one, claim on assets. Debenture holders have priority to claim on the assets of the company. We have learned about charge, different types of charge. That usually comes in case of debentures. They have to be paid first before making any payment to the preference or equity shareholders in the event of liquidation of the company. That is the concept with regard to debentures and debenture holders. Next one, control. Debenture holders are only creditors of the company, or we can say borrowed part of the capital. So they do not have any control of the management of the company because they are not the owners. Only if they are owners and they will have voting right. Whenever they will have a voting right, they will be the owners. Since the debenture holders are not at all the owners of the concern and they have no voting right, they do not have any control over the management of the company. The interest paid on debentures is a charge against profit in the company's financial statement. You will learn about the effect on profit in detail in your higher studies. Anyway, just right now I will give a brief concept or introduction regarding the effect on profit. I have mentioned that the company wants capital and the company raises capital by issue of shares and debentures. Shares is owned capital, debentures is borrowed capital. When the company has an option to raise capital by any of these two means, which one the company will choose? Definitely the company will choose debentures. We may think that it's a creditorship securities and the company has to pay interest even if there is running at a loss. Then why the company is preferring debentures over shares? Because even though the debenture has such issues with regard to payment, there is one great advantage with regard to debentures, otherwise known as borrowed capital. We can say like that, borrowed capital. Since we are learning debentures, I am mentioning debentures. Why the company prefers a borrowed capital or raising capital by means of borrowing? Because the interest has to be paid on regular intervals with regard to borrowings. So whenever the company pays interest, it will be charged against the profit. That is, it is actually considered as an expense. So whenever the interest is charged against the profit, the profit will be reduced. Whenever the profit is reduced, do we have to pay more tax or less tax? We have to pay less tax. So by means of issuing interest on debentures, the company can reduce tax. Reducing the tax from the company's point of view is of a great difference when running in a for a long period or a indefinite period like that. So as far as a company is concerned, issuing means raising capital by means of debentures is more beneficial in the long run when compared to raising capital by means of shares. So issue of shares or issue of debentures will have an effect on profit, but if issue of dividends or issue of like that dividends on share, it doesn't have an effect on profit because certain part of the profit will be transferred to certain reserve and that is used for issue as dividends. So it is not shown in the profit and loss account. But in case of interest, it is actually considered as an expense and it is shown in the profit and loss account. So definitely it will have an effect on profit. You will study in detail the concept of this debentures and effect on profit in your higher studies. Right now, just understand that the issue of debentures or issue of interest on debentures will have an effect on the profits of the concern, unlike dividends. Deed issued. The company issues the debenture deed is in the form of a certificate issued under the seal of the company. It usually shows the amount and date of its repayment. It is actually a document that is known as deed, and deed consists of uh, conditions and rules with regard to the debentures. Transferability means debentures are generally freely transferable by the debenture holders. They can transfer the debentures to one person to another. For example, I have borrowed certain sum of money from Mr. X, and Mr. X will have the debenture document, because I will issue a certificate under my company's seal, and it will be offered to the debenture holder. Whenever the debenture holder is in need of money, or likewise, he can transfer this to another party for money or for free, whatever it is. But because that the concept means whoever the holding debenture certificate will be the holder of that certificate, and he will receive the money with regard to those debentures. That is known as transferability, like that. So these are the major features with regard to debentures. We will discuss about further theoretical aspects with regards to debentures in the coming session. Until then, go through these theoretical aspects. It is a must that you must go through and familiarize the theoretical aspect. Don't only give importance to the practical sections or problems. You will come across questions where more importance may be given to theory rather than problems. So give equal importance to problems as well as theories. So we will discuss about the further concepts in the coming sessions.